It's just past dawn in Manila. Breaking headlines flash across TV screens. Chinese Coast Guard and Philippine vessel in near collision. The footage is grainy but gripping. Two ships, one bearing the Philippine flag, the other a looming Chinese vessel, play a deadly game of chicken near a disputed reef in the South China Sea. Sirens wail. Crew members shout orders. The water churns as warning shots echo in the salty air. Reporters scramble for updates. Social media erupts with shaky videos filmed from nearby fishing boats. All eyes are on the stretch of sea known as the West Philippine Sea. This is not just a story for the military, it is a story for every Filipino glued to the news, anxious about what comes next. The tension is real, and the danger is growing. For years, the South China Sea has been a flashpoint, but now, the threats are closer than ever. These standoffs are happening more often. Each incident feels like a roll of the dice, with the possibility of miscalculation or disaster rising with every encounter. For the Philippines, this is a wake-up call. The headlines are not just noise for people living on the coast. For Filipino fishermen, the South China Sea is their backyard and their lifeline. Recently, many have returned home with stories of being chased, blocked, or even sprayed with water cannons by foreign ships. Their catch is smaller, their routes are riskier, and every trip could mean trouble. This danger is not far away or abstract. It is personal. Families in coastal villages worry every time their loved ones set out to sea. Some boats return damaged, others come back empty. The sense of fear is matched only by growing anger. The sea that once fed generations now feels like a battleground. National security officials are on edge too. Each standoff raises questions. How much longer can the Philippines rely on old ships and limited resources? What happens if a clash turns deadly? These worries are pushing the country to act. The government is hearing the cries for help, from fishermen, from the military, and from ordinary citizens. This immediate threat is changing how people think about defense. Protecting fishermen and defending the country's waters has become a top priority. The stakes have never been higher for national security. For decades, the Philippine military faced different challenges. Most threats came from within communist rebels, criminal gangs, and separatist groups in the south. The focus was always on internal security. The Army, not the Navy or Air Force, got most of the budget and attention. Because of this, the country's ships and planes grew old and outdated. Patrol boats were decades past their prime. Fighter jets were few and far between. Some equipment was so worn out that parts had to be scavenged from junkyards. The military was stuck in the past, not prepared for high-stakes standoffs at sea. Ordinary Filipinos knew the military was stretched thin. Most saw soldiers on the streets, not at sea. Few thought much about China or the South China Sea. The real battles seemed far from the coastline. But as the world changed, so did the threats. In recent years, it has become clear that old gear and old thinking are no match for new dangers. The need to modernize is not just a matter of pride, it's a matter of survival. The year was 2012. A tense standoff unfolded at Scarborough Shoal, a rocky outcrop in the South China Sea. Chinese and Philippine ships faced off for weeks. In the end, China took control, blocking Filipino fishermen and building up its presence. The loss stung deeply. For many, it was a turning point. The government realized that words and diplomacy were not enough. The Philippines needed real power to defend its waters and its people. Scarborough Shoal became a symbol, a reminder that the country could not afford to be caught off guard again. China's moves did not stop there. Islands were dredged, military bases built, and patrols increased. Each new construction project was another warning. The Philippines saw its claims and its security slipping away. The lesson was clear. Only a stronger military could protect national interests. This turning point sparked debate at every level of society. Scarborough Shoal was not just lost territory. It was lost pride. The country began to rethink its entire defense strategy, pushing aside old habits and facing harsh new realities. Out of necessity, the Philippines launched a modernization program for its armed forces. Billions of pesos were allocated. The shopping list was long: new frigates from South Korea, modern fighter jets from South Korea and the United States, radar systems and high-speed patrol boats. Drones and cyber defense tools were added, recognizing the new face of warfare. The deals were not just about hardware. Training programs increased, with Filipino soldiers and sailors learning new tactics and technologies. Partnerships were made with allies, especially the United States, Japan, and Australia. These moves brought not only equipment, but also know-how and confidence. Every new ship or plane was front-page news. Ceremonies were held as new assets arrived, with flags flying and speeches made about duty and sacrifice. The message was clear: the Philippines would not be bullied. It was rebuilding its forces for a new era. Modernization is still a work in progress. But with every delivery, the country is one step closer to being able to defend its vast and vulnerable seas. Look at a map of Asia, and the Philippines stands out, a long chain of islands at the crossroads of major shipping lanes. To the west, the South China Sea is one of the world's busiest waterways. Billions of dollars in trade pass through each year. Whoever controls these waters holds a key to global commerce. But geography is a double-edged sword. The Philippines is vulnerable, with thousands of kilometers of coastline and hundreds of islands to defend. Its closest neighbors, China, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Taiwan, also have claims in the region. Disputes are inevitable. This strategic spot makes the country both important and exposed. Allies want to help, but rivals see opportunity. The seas around the Philippines are rich in fish, oil, and gas. Everyone wants a share, and tensions are never far away. For Filipinos, this geography is a source of both opportunity and risk. The challenge is to protect what is theirs, knowing that location alone brings threats as well as potential. Each standoff at sea brings real consequences for everyday people. Fishermen tell stories of daring escapes from foreign patrols. Coast Guard officers recall tense hours spent shadowing larger, better-equipped ships. The risks are not just theoretical, they are daily realities. Schools in coastal towns teach children about safety at sea. Emergency drills are now regular events in some villages. Some families have left fishing altogether, seeking safer work on land. The fear of conflict is changing how people live, work, and plan for the future. For policymakers in Manila, each incident is a test. They must weigh every response carefully. Too weak, and the country loses more ground. Too strong, and the risk of open conflict rises. The line between defense and escalation is razor thin. At the heart of these confrontations is something deeper: national pride. Every Filipino wants to see their country respected and safe. These daily struggles shape not just policy, but the spirit of the nation. The Philippines is not alone in this dangerous neighborhood. On one side is China, with its growing navy and bold claims. On the other is the United States, a longtime ally with its own interests in keeping sea lanes open. Both countries court Manila. Both want influence. This creates a delicate balancing act. The Philippines welcomes U.S. military aid and joint exercises. American troops visit regularly, helping train and equip local forces. At the same time, the government must keep trade flowing with China, the region's economic powerhouse. Manila walks a tightrope. Too much dependence on one side could provoke the other. The government seeks support, but also independence. The goal is clear: to build enough strength to stand tall, even when giants push and pull. This global rivalry shapes every decision. The Philippines cannot escape its geography or its history, but it can choose how to defend its future. The military buildup is not about starting wars. Filipino leaders stress this again and again. The aim is simple: to deter aggression, protect the country's resources, and keep people safe. Every ship, every drone, every alliance is meant to send a message: do not cross the line. This is a stance born of necessity, not desire. The Philippines has no wish to threaten neighbors, but it cannot afford to look weak either. The stakes, food, jobs, pride, and sovereignty, are just too high. Ordinary Filipinos understand. They want peace, but they want dignity too. The military buildup gives hope that the country can defend itself and its future. Each investment is a promise, a vow that the Philippines will not be pushed aside. In the end, this is a story of resilience. The Philippines is not seeking trouble. It is standing up because it must. In a dangerous world, strength is the best path to peace.